Hi everybody, it's Irene with BrainStormAcres and welcome to part 2 of the greenhouse tour. This is the seating area. Obviously we have lots of wires going in different directions, and this is where I keep seed mats or also called heat mats, for warming the trays from the bottom while we are trying to get the seeds to start. Now, let me take you up close and show you what we've got going in here. Okay, this little guy is Jade Cross. They are Brussels sprouts, and they are the last of this last batch of seeds that was started in this tray. This tray is not turned on anymore. It's just sitting here. These are just getting a little bit bigger. They were just a little too small when it was time to plant out the other guys. The Jade Cross seems to grow a little bit slower than the broccoli and some of the other things that I was growing. So all these guys' buddies have already gone into pots. This guy is waiting. We're actually hoping to be able to plant outside, but I'm not sure. They may wind up going into a pot. We'll see. This is the lettuce tray, labeled according to whatever the seed is in that particular row. We have 100% germination on certain things. Oh, I get the hiccups now. Always. 100% germination on some things, 4 out of 5 on others. There's a couple that we didn't get quite as good a germination on. They may be older seeds. Green Star hasn't come up at all. I think that's an older seed, so I will double check on that one. But as you can see, we're going to have a nice collection of different kinds of lettuce. Some of them have been specifically recommended as being tolerant of heat or whatever. So we've grown this one, anything with an S on it, that one, this one, and this one, and this one are all Salanovas, which is a patented lettuce seed available only from Johnny's Seeds in the United States. And they are particularly tolerant of really funky weather. So we have grown those in the past in the winter. We have grown them in the past pretty deeply into the summer. But yeah, everybody's doing well. We're looking forward to being able to pot them up because we've been doing spinach salads, but we're ready for some lettuce salads without worrying about whether it's going to be recalled. Let's see, this little tray down here is here because this particular type of lettuce is very temperature sensitive. There's no heat mat under here. And Mosh is a specialty lettuce, very high-end in Europe. And we grew some last year. We were very pleased with it. You'll get a single rosette out of each plant, and basically a single rosette becomes a salad. So we've got, I don't know if you can see them or not, we've got some itty-bitty little guys in there. They don't have their true leaves yet. So when they get a little bit bigger, I will prick them out and pot them up into something bigger. The Tiara Cabbage is over here. There was an accident when I was watering it initially. I suspect the seeds got buried too far in the dirt because of the water slosh. So I'll probably restart those again soon. But as you saw, I've already got plenty of Tiara Cabbage around here, so it's not a huge rush, although it is kind of a rush because, well, it's getting warmer. These are Adirondack Blue. This is an experiment. We had some very seriously sprouted Adirondack Blue seed potatoes when we got them in the spring, and they came in at least a month earlier than they should have from the supplier. And these guys have done super well. These were each planted, there's one potato in each pot, and then it may not be a whole potato. What we did was we cut up, we've done a video on this, we cut up the potatoes with at least one eye per chunk, and the ones that had big sprouty pieces went into the pots like this. They have grown really well. These were originally on heat mats. They are not on heat mats anymore, but they're happy in here. And the nice thing about this location is we can cover this whole location. See, this thing here holds plastic at night. So there's actually a tent put over this at night to help keep the seedlings more protected. Now, this big monster. Lots and lots and lots of plants in here. These are megaton leeks over here. There's some candy onions from seed here. There are some duster onions, which is a variety we have not tried before, but we're trying them this year. They come highly recommended from House Tools. And Sweet William, which is a perennial dianthus. And if you've followed me for any time, you know that I love perennials. Dianthus is very tough. They call it a tender perennial, but we will generally stick these along the house where it is protected from the weather a bit. And they do really well in the partial shade there. We had some serious devastation at the end of the season from deer last year, so we were not sure how many of our existing dianthus survived. So we decided that we would start a whole nother batch. Sweet William is taller than the other variety of dianthus I have, so these will go in the back of the beds. I just got my seeds in for the shorter variety, which is Volcano, and I am looking forward to planting those two so that, yeah, we can have lots and lots of seeds. This is yet another gigantic seed tray from House Tools, and these little bitty, you can barely see them here, I think. Hopefully you can see some of those little green things in there. These are all Rudbeckias, which is black-eyed Susans. And I think we have I think I counted them this morning. I think we have 61 plants in here so far. They're all itty-bitty, no true leaves yet or any of that kind of stuff. But that's okay. They take quite a while. They spent about a month in my fridge because the seeds like to be pre-chilled before they're planted. And we're very pleased. We've never been able to get seeds to come up before, and probably because we didn't pre-chill them because nobody told us we had to. So now the seeds that we bought actually said on the package, you'll get better germination if you pre-chill them, so we did. These are columbines here. They have not come up. Columbine can be fussy, so they are new seeds, but we'll see. They're a box store seed, so they may or may not do as well as the other guys. These are Laurentian Rutabagas. You saw some of them over in the pots over here. These are not big enough to pot up. This guy is just about big enough now, but they were both too little. They were like the runts of the litter. They just started later than the other ones did, the other seeds did. So we decided rather than being silly and throwing them out to the wolves, we would let them have a little more time. And this last container is another one of our great experiments this year. Professional growers for potato slips simply plant the potato slip, sweet potatoes, and we're talking sweet potatoes here, not white potatoes or any other kind of Irish potato. These are sweet potatoes, and there's 6 sweet potatoes left over from last season, as a matter of fact. They are garnet, and as you can see over here, this one has sent up a couple of slips. As the professional growers who actually sell you those slips, this is how they grow them. They put them in trays or beds full of sand or soil or some combination thereof, and when the slips come up, they get to a certain size and they literally just pick them off. So we decided we would try that this year. Last year we grew sweet potato slips in the kitchen on the counter with water. You can take your sweet potato, stick 3 toothpicks in the sides of it to hold it upright, stick the behind of it, the butt of it, down in the water, and it'll sprout. But it's more junk in my kitchen, to be honest, and we decided we would try it this way this year because it was fun last year, but it got to be quite the zoo in there with sweet potato vines all over the kitchen. I hope you enjoyed this little tour of the greenhouse this morning. Our next project in here is I need to be planting a bunch more flowers, tomatoes. I'm trying to think if there's any other vegetables I need to plant this week. It's hot in here. I have the fan turned off so you can hear me. It is 79 degrees over there. It is a little cooler over there than it is over here in the sun. Woo. It's been a cool winter, so this is like way too warm. Anyway, I need to plant tomato seeds this week, start planting at least. I need to plant more vegetables. I'm sure I got to check which ones. I know I need to plant a bunch more flowers. If you've been following it all with us in terms of our seedlings, we are in the process of upgrading our perennial beds this year. So we are growing a ton of dianthus and rudbeckia, which is black-eyed Susans, and I'll grow some columbine and also lupins. There's some other dianthus I want to grow. So we're trying to create a basic structure of perennials that come up every year, and then if you want different colors or more color in a specific area, you just add in some annuals. We're currently in the process of rebuilding one of our flower beds, which is being reshaped so that it tolerates the water situation here better. We'll be adding a bunch more irrigation to that, and I have a bunch of tulip bulbs that have been living in the fridge all winter because the ground froze too early and I couldn't get them in. So they've been in the fridge, so they think it's been winter, so that's okay. And I'm hoping this week I'll get them out, and then we'll see how they do. They should, as long as they at least survive. If we don't get flowers this year, we don't get flowers. I can live with that. But we're trying to create that front bed there has daffodils and tulips, multiple different kinds of daffodils, singles, doubles, different color combinations. And it used to have a nice selection of tulips, but part of the tulips were eaten, we think, by a ground cricket. I saw the ground cricket and I kind of ignored it because they don't usually do me any great damage, but I realized later they ate the bulbs at that end of the bed. So yeah, I will not be tolerating ground crickets from now on. Enlarging that bed, putting in more bulbs, and then also putting more perennials in. And then we usually have a couple of different kinds of marigolds, one that normally self-seeds in there, and I was able to get my gem, what they call the gem series, which is they're short bushy plants, and they have single old-fashioned single marigolds. So it's not the big fluffy ones, it's the little single ones. They have an awesome smell to them. They're edible. They can be used for teas and all kinds of stuff. You could probably even dye with them because the petals are quite vibrant in terms of color. So that's what we're doing. So be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because obviously there's a ton going on in here. Where I'm sitting right now here eventually is going to be the hydroponic garden. This will be tomatoes and probably just tomatoes. We will also plant some cucumbers in here for the summer, but most of the rest of this stuff will either go outside into the side yard here or be finished up because it has a life cycle and be done, because most of these things will not enjoy severe summer heat. The radishes will be eaten, the spinach will be eaten. We'll be planting some spinach and stuff like that in the shade on the north side of the house, the same way as we did last summer. That worked really well. So yeah, you got to come back because there's lots going on. So don't hesitate to ask us questions. We love to have the ability to help other people if they have questions about either what we're doing or what they're doing at their place. So until next time, bye.